show. Today, we have the young assassin. He's part of the Strangle Squad, hashtag Strangle Squad. Alex Schild, what's going on?
What's up, man? I like that. I think I told you that before on Instagram. I'm going to steal that from you. Hashtag Strangle Squad.
Yeah, anybody that strangles somebody.
Hey, you know what? That's the squad, dog. We got some guys who can fucking strangle you, man. I'm stealing that. George, did we tell you that or no?
Strangle Squad.
Strangle Squad.
Yeah, hashtag Strangle. So the only reason I said Strangle Squad is because I didn't want to take the Choke Boys. Because that's from
someone has choke. That's like Henzo Gracie, no? Are they choke boys?
Yeah, something like that. And that comes from the Coke Boys from French Montana.
Hey, we gotta search that hashtag. That's too good for someone not to take. Strangle Squad.
Strangle Squad. I like it.
Just do it.
Alex,
just
can you put your knee down? What shirt are you wearing?
Old one, classic, throwback.
Oh, Sabai Gi. Check out Sabai Gi if you want to buy a gi, a good made gi.
Yeah, and of course, joining us or coming back on is the other guy that's supposed to be on the podcast every week, but he's not because he's a busy bitch, right?
I don't know about bitch, but busy, yes.
All right. No, bitch as in like a good bitch, like good thing. It's not a bad thing.
Not like get my coffee, bitch. Hey, I like that. Hey, you know what? Yo, John, you are coming up. Yo, this past week, you've come up with some great hashtags, yo. Busy bitch and Strangle Squad.
All right,
that's good, man.
It's all good.
Hey, George, the busy bitch. Hey, I like it, dog.
Yeah.
You guys been Alex, you're coming off your third straight win.
Yeah.
2 submissions in the first round. Yep. You're doing pretty good. You're hitting I guess you're hitting your stride now. Even though you don't have that many fights, but right now it's like your best time. Do you feel that way?
I mean, yeah, for sure. Like I have such few fights that like I wouldn't even say I'm hitting my stride. There's going to be a bigger stride. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm just feeling more comfortable. Like for my first few fights, like my first few pro fights, I was fighting like once or twice a year. I was having injuries, or I was focusing on Sabai Gi, or I was focusing on coaching, and things were happening at the gym, and I wasn't able to get regular fights. And so every time I was fighting, it was like 1 year later, always like 1 year later. So you're getting like all that shit. You're taking a year off. So this year, at the beginning of the year, I set a goal for myself to fight 5 times this year. And so I fought back-to-back January, March, and then I just fought now. So I think for me, and I don't know how some fighters, a break is fine for them. And there's guys like Will Chope who fight once a month, twice a month. But I'm finding more comfort in fighting more regularly. So, yeah, I don't really call it a stride. I'm just kind of having more fun with it and just want to keep it going, So call it what you want, but it's just I'm having more fun. So, and, yeah.
Of course, man. Like you got to fight more often to get better, right? So this year,
for sure,
you fought 3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
Yeah, so
September, 3 times. So
that's the most you ever fought in your career in 1 year. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's the most I ever fought in my career in 1 year, and I think that's a big reason I'm feeling. I'm just getting better a lot quicker. I mean, there's no experience like fighting. That's it. Like you can train all you want, you can drill all you want, you can spar all you want. There's no teacher like fighting, winning or losing. Like that's it, like the most cheesy shit to say, right? Like
no, but it's well put. It's very true.
Unless you've been in that situation, how are you? I don't want to say this in like a negative way, but coaches that have never put themselves there, like you don't have to be the best fighter in the world to be a good coach. But if you've never like tested what you're teaching people to see if it works, there's only one way to see if it works, and that's a real fight. That's a real situation. That's it. So you don't have to be the best at all, but you have to be in that kind of mindset to figure it out. So anyway, yeah, so I'm kind of rambling on, but yeah, it's the best experience. Experience is the best teacher. Like that's it. And so we're really trying to live by that.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about podcasting is like it's not really an interview. It is an interview, but it's not. But you can ramble on. And it's all good because in interviews, like they have a certain amount of time you could talk about things. So don't worry about rambling, man. Rambling is all good. That's what podcasting's for.
It's so funny. I remember when when I first met you and you were interviewing me like in like a interview form and like for like on like text, Yeah. In text, you really got to not ramble on, like no one's gonna read that shit if you're talking 2 paragraphs,
Well, even in text, like. the whoever's writing the article,
Yeah.
they have to kind of pick and choose what's the best.
Absolutely.
You know, so rambling on, no matter what, is good for like the writer, or you know, in podcasting too. It's all good, man. So don't worry about it too much.
That's right.
Now, like you said, when I first
I got some help for talking this morning. It's my coffee. So
yes, for sure.
That's it. Just the.
What kind of coffee you drinking?
I get some ground coffee from Chiang Mai. You can buy it at the store. So it's Thai beans. It's great. It's so cheap. Like you can buy coffee here, or you can just buy a bag of like local beans and just make it yourself. So it's just Thai beans that I make in my house.
Yo, is it Malaysia that they sell the coffee that's like made out of cat shit?
I've heard of that. Cat poop coffee. I've heard of that. You know what? It might be. That might be a thing. I feel like I've been in Penang in like one of those little hipster coffee shops, and they got like cat poop coffee. I don't know.
I don't think that doesn't sound like something I would want to try.
Really? You guys never seen it in the stores or nothing like that? Because I've heard of it.
I've heard of it, but not something I want to try.
Yeah. Like, I don't like cats to begin with, but then cat shit is even worse.
I know, but they're drinking that shit. It's like that bird's nest soup in China. You know, like how they take the nest. Yeah, it's real. They take the nest and the spit from the nest. They make it into a soup, and it's like for like your dick.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yo, I don't know. I don't know, man. Chinese, they've been around a long time. They probably know some shit. They're like, you idiots. Like, you don't need TRT. You need bird's nest soup. You'll be strong as shit.
Yeah, but you know, but a lot of that old shit don't make any sense either. You know, I mean, they're just doing it because they're doing it too. You know, so talking about China, man, you were in China.
Yeah.
You were in Shenzhen. Okay, you're in Shenzhen for Legend King Championship 3.
Yep.
And I didn't even know that there was Legend King Championship 1 or 2. I should know these things, but I did not know until you went out there and fought.
Yeah.
When you were fighting, and you know, hashtag strangle squad, you strangled the dude, right? Easy. It was easy, man. Like, I like to use the words easy work. It was pretty easy because, you know, your fight, you can see it. If you go to Alex's Facebook page, it's right there. You can watch the whole fight. But the weird thing about that fight is after you choked him and finished him, it was dead silent in the arena, man. Like, how does that feel to, like, go in there and win, and you're excited as fuck, but everybody in the arena is kind of like zipped. They're zipped up, man. Like, what is that like feeling?
You know, it's kind of a bit weird. I mean, number one, I was fighting a Chinese guy, so like, and most of these Chinese shows, they're usually, when you go, it's China versus the world. They got some Chinese guy. There's like a Chinese locker room and like a foreigner locker room, bunch of Russians, Americans, whatever. But yeah, I'm going against that guy. So. And the people that are going there, they're not necessarily MMA fans. They're just – MMA is new to them. They got some tickets they want to go watch. They just see a Chinese guy versus a round guy, you know, and, like, they want their guy to win. They don't care who's who or whatever. So, but, man, you know what? Actually, Chinese fans are great. Like, and you kind of really don't notice it. Like, when you're fighting and you're in the cage, like, you're pretty enclosed and, like, yo, you just want to fight. Like, you're just looking at your corner, man. You're like, yo, we did that shit, you know, like, to be honest, like, well, I've been places where, like, people were super stoked to see you win. You know, you go to, like, a place like, you know, when I fought in Thailand, like, Full Metal Dojo, that's, like, our local show. Like, I fought in Phuket. I fought in Bangkok. Those are, like, our people, you know? So people, like, are really dope there. But even a place like China where no one knows you, like, you just want to impress your friend, you know? You kind of just, like, the only person that cares is Joe Ray. You know, I'm with Joe Ray or, like, George. I just want him to think, like, what I did was cool, you know? So I don't really give a shit. But anyways, they're quiet, but I actually jumped up on – I know they're quiet, and I jumped up on the cage. I never jumped up on the cage before, but I got a submission, so I was like, why not, you know? And I yelled in Chinese. I yelled, "Wo ai chung wo," which means I love China. And then they started cheering for me, so that was good. So you just got to learn something in each language, and they'll fucking like you. But they're super nice. Like, you come out, they want to take pictures with you. Like, they're super cool, so they don't got to scream for me to be happy.
I think that the fans in Asia are much better than, like, fighting back in America. Because, like,
they're just
fighting in America is, like, I remember my first amateur fight was, like, right after I got done wrestling in college, and you could just smell, like, look, I love to drink, but, like, you could just smell the booze, like, in the arena, and everyone was just, like, piss drunk, like, shouting, and they just wanted to knock out. And, like, I remember I took the guy down right away. like I threw a jab. I thought like I was real confident, and like they interviewed me, and I was like, yeah, I'm feeling great with my striking. I literally threw one jab and I took the guy down because it was just like instinct. And like I was on top of him punching him, but everyone I could remember like everyone was like standing back up.
Pussy.
And like yeah, they just wanted to see like a banging. But like man, in Asia, because I fought in China and Japan, like I haven't fought in Thailand, but like fighting in China and Japan, especially Japan, the fans are like dead silent. Even during the fight, like you could hear a pin drop, but they just really understand and have like there's more of a respect factor, like they win or lose, they they're still just I think the whole fighting culture in Asia is different than like what we're used to in the West.
Did you see Diego Brandao when he hopped out the cage?
Did you see that, George, in Fight Nights?
No, I didn't.
Oh my God,
that's crazy right there.
What happened?
Yeah,
I didn't even see this. I feel like I've been under a rock.
Hey, fucking Dagestan, Chechnya shit, yo. He's fighting in Dagestan at Fight Nights, and he's fighting some Dagestan guy, and he was on the bottom, and it looked like the guy on top like kind of like headbutted his chest. Like it wasn't really that big of a deal, but the ref like stopped him for a headbutt, and then the Dagestan guy on top throws like 2 or 3 like looping punches after the ref stopped him. So Diego Brandao up kicks him, and he's like, get the fuck off me. And then he's like, fuck this shit. He hops over the cage and he just leaves. He's like, fuck you people, I'm not fighting. Fuck this shit, like. And then they got him back in, and then Diego Brandao I think got DQ'd because he left the cage and he lost.
Yeah, you get DQ'd for hopping over the cage during the fight, so it's a TKO loss. But the thing is, they were throwing shit into the cage. That's why I think he hopped over.
I forget, and they were throwing shit at him. They were throwing shit at Brandao, like bottles and shit, Yeah. So he's like, yo, fuck you people. Like, I'm fucking here fighting. Fuck you guys,
So
it's crazy.
George, you're right, man. I don't think if you go to like even China and you hop over the cage because you think something went down wrong, I don't think they're gonna throw shit into the cage, right?
No way. No way.
It's much more like respectful. Like Alex said, like I remember the first time, like I lived in Thailand for like 3 years or 3 months, sorry, and I took a short notice fight in Kunlun, and like afterwards, I remember being in the back, like. And I was like obviously pumped after winning, and it was like the first time I'd fought out of America, and like there were like girls and like dudes coming up to me like asking for photos and stuff, and like just like they wanted to get photos and like pose with you and talk to you even though you couldn't understand what the hell they were saying. And like in Japan, it was the same thing when I fought on the New Year show in Deep, and just like how quiet it is in the arena. And then like if you do something like throw a good punch or like a good takedown, then you hear like, oh, and they clap and stuff, but then it's back to being quiet. And it's just like, I don't know. I guess other countries should take some hints from the Asian MMA fans, because the respect factor is like through the roof, and they understand the ground game. They like, if you do a good pass or something on the ground, it's the same thing. Like they'll applaud you. So it's definitely, it's so much different than fighting in, like in America or something.
Yo, they're good crowds. Like for 1FC Malaysia, we were there for MO. Like they're pumped.
Oh yeah, it was great.
They're pumped, and you know what? Like these promotions, they put a lot into promotion, so they make it look real good. They got like not halftime, but like in between fights, they got like girls like with cannons, like blasting T-shirts and shit. Like they keep you interested. Like you might not know shit about fighting, but you're having a good time.
Yeah,
so
it's a good experience. Yeah. I think definitely like in Asia, it's more about the show than even the fight sometimes.
Absolutely.
Even at like in some of the shows in Korea, they got like break dancers between the fights and like singers and rock bands, all kinds of weird like out of the blue shit. I'm like doing some shit at the event, and then all of a sudden this fucking band comes out and they're fucking rocking out, and I don't even know who the hell they are.
Yo, that's dope. They're putting promotion into it. They're having fun. Like like they got good walkouts. Like 1FC has dope ass walkouts. Road FC has cool walkouts. Like. They let you get into it. They're like, I remember even when I went for Battlefield, RIP, but even their one show, they were like, hey, if you want to do something special for the walkout, let us know. Like, Yeah, they kind of have like they let you walk out like the long way. Yeah. Which builds it up a little bit, let the music play, and, I think that's important. Except the one, I think it was Road FC, the last one, this girl had a walkout. Remember that like 17-year-old? She had like her crew of like breakdancers behind her for like 8 minutes.
It was her schoolmates.
Okay, it was so annoying. It was cool for like 20 seconds, but like it was a 5-minute dance routine that they did, and then she went out. It was fucking. I was like,
well,
all right,
that
girl.
dance routine was one of the K-pop girl groups. They copied like one of their dance routines, and then that's what they were doing.
I mean, listen, I get it, but let's go.
Yeah.
That's why.
Go ahead.
I would say that's why she's lost. Her adrenaline dumped, yo. She was back there smashing pads, and then her friends were dancing for 10 minutes, and she's like, wait a minute, I don't want to go do this anymore. You know?
Hey, when I fought in Deep a couple of years ago for the New Year show, fought Tatsuya. I can't remember his last name. He was on like the show, the not Ultimate Fighter, but that when they had the build up to the Japan, it was like
Road to Japan.
Yeah, he was on that show. He just fought actually in Rebel like 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But he came out and he did like the haka, like because he used to play rugby in Japan. I think it's called the haka, right?
Yeah, the Japanese guy doing the haka.
Yeah, he did the whole thing. Like his whole squad came out and they lined up and he was like shouting and they were like rah 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 doing the whole thing. And it took like 5 minutes, bro. It was crazy.
You got video of that?
What's that?
You got video of that?
No. The fight was online. It was online, but then when he was on that show, they took it off.
No, I know the fight, but I've seen the fight, but I meant the haka. Yo, were you in the cage?
No, like that's what I mean. Like they filmed it on, like when they had it online on YouTube, the whole thing was on there. But no, I don't have it.
Yo, you should have ripped that thing. Yo, you don't have any of that video? You gotta rip that.
No,
you gotta keep it. Wait, were you in the cage when that happened?
Yeah, I was like in the cage waiting, like watching him come down like the thing. I just looked at. I was like, what is going on?
That's the worst part. I hate when you're just standing there waiting for the other guy. You're like, all right, I'm ready to go. You know?
Yeah, and then they're doing this big dance, shouting at you.
I never heard that story. That's really good. Yo, you gotta find that video.
That's fucked up. Like the waiting part's fucked up. If you're coming out second, I guess that's all right.
The part I hate the most about fighting is usually when you're getting like Vaseline in the pat down, because like you're up there, like you're hyped up, like hitting pads, and you walk out, and it's pretty fun. I just want from that to like start fighting right away, you know. And then you got this weird guy touching your face. You got the guy doing the haka, you know. Fuck.
So they should do it like boxing then, like where you already got patted down in the back, and you got the Vaseline on already, and you go out there, you step in the cage right away, you take your shirt off. That'd probably be better. For
me personally, some people probably like that shit, but I'm there, I'm like, just looking around, I'm like, oh man.
I think that's mostly just for pictures.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah. Hey, you know what? I got some dope pictures there, so I'm not gonna complain. But actually, it was really cool. This show in China. Like the announcement was super quick. They announced our records and everything while we're walking out. So by the time we were in the cage, actually, I just remember this. By the time we were in the cage, they're like, Alex, ready, boom, like straight away. It was pretty fast.
It looked like a good ran show.
Yo, it was great, man. So, yeah, well, let's go back to – I think that was even the first thing we started talking about. We got sidetracked talking about hakas. But, Legend King. So before I went, Sayat had told me that they had 2 shows before. They never had a show in Shenzhen. And first of all, Shenzhen is fucking awesome. Like, for real. All the boys are, like, laughing at me because I'm, like, come back, I won't stop talking about it. But I've been to a lot of cities. Hey, for real, yo. They're like, all right, relax. I've been to a lot of cities in China, and Shenzhen was great. Like, that was the best city I've ever been to. Like, it was awesome. Like, great. I mean, I just happened to be there. Great weather. Like, great shopping. The grocery store where you can get anything you want to eat, like any Western chicken, food, vegetables, whatever. Like, we ended up just buying our own food and cooking in the room. And then,
of course you did with Joe Rogan.
Yeah, why not? No, but like people are super nice there. Like, Chinese people are pretty nice, but they also have like a reputation for, being a little bit rude and whatever. But Shenzhen was great, man. Like, it's the first closest city mainland to Hong Kong. So I don't know if that's just like rubbed off on them or like they just go to Hong Kong for the weekend or like, but I had a great time. Yeah. So, and then the promotion was great. Like the hotel was mint. Like, I don't know, 4 or 5 star, like super nice, like everything you need. The people were super nice, like the people from Legend King, like we had a translator, the whole thing. Like sometimes you go to like these shows and like you're the foreigner and they're kind of just like, hey, good luck, like they help you, but they're not the most helpful.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm sure George knows. I mean, they'll help you to a certain extent, but we're still like, at the end of the day, they're like calling their Korean buddies and helping them a little more. But
it's like, I think in China, it's more important than any other like country, especially like Korea or Japan, because I think a lot of the people that are around in that area, they speak a little bit of English, but in China, it's very limited.
Bro, that's such a good point. Absolutely, even more. Like, that's so true. Like, you try to like get the most simple thing, and China's probably like the farthest behind on English as far as like places I've been. I mean, obviously Malaysia, Singapore, but even Korea, Thailand. You can go most places and they're gonna speak a little English to you, but not Korea, not so much. Or I mean, not China. Excuse me.
For sure. Now, did you know anything about the guy that you fought?
So the guy that I fought, this is one of the things about going to China. Like, I think we talked about this before. We talked about China last time I was on. Is you got to know what you're getting into. You got to be like, you got to know what you're getting into when you go there. You can go there and you can have a great experience like me, and you have notice, and you're happy with the money, and people treat you well and stuff. But we've also like had other ways where you don't know who you're fighting. Like, legit, people want to bag on China, and there's a lot of good and bad, but they don't have YouTube out there, and we don't have their thing out there is Youku. We don't have Youku. We don't have all the stuff that they have. We don't follow their social media. So finding and not stuff is translated in English. Like, you can type in any Muay Thai fighter's name in English and you'll find a Muay Thai guy even's got a Thai name, you know, like same with Korean. But like, so I didn't see much videos on my opponent. I saw one video and I was like, okay, like right when he said, hey, do you want the opponent? I took it. But other than that, we didn't have much to go on. So I had heard that he had like, I couldn't find much on like American sites, but I heard that he had like a few fights in China. He had like 4 fights in China. They said he was 3-1 in China. But if they're not online, they're probably smaller promotions. So yeah, we had to go based off what we saw, and that was it. Other than that, we talked about it before. We just focused on me. Like, you know, George is my coach the whole camp. He's been my coach for every fight, and we just focus on the things that we have always done, and adding things on each time we get ready for a guy. Obviously, if we know the guy's really good at this or that thing, we incorporate it. But we're trying to get better at everything. So about my opponent, didn't focus too much on what he was going to do.
Well, let's go back to your opponent from the fight before. Like, you knew that guy. He was undefeated. He was a knockout artist. Do you think you gained more confidence from that fight than any other fight that you've had? The one against the Korean at Juan Kim.
Yeah, for sure. At that point, that was my most recent fight. I gained a lot of confidence from that fight. But I won position and I lost positions from that fight. So confidence in different ways, not like confidence like I'm untouchable. Like, oh shit, like I got my back taken. Okay, I can defend, but I need to get out of that position. You know, stuff like that. So absolutely got confident because obviously I won, so I did a lot more good things. But then this fight I got more confidence. It was a completely different fight. I had a lot more striking. I gained a lot of confidence from this one. So maybe this fight was a little bit easier, or I just did that much better. But I think every fight when you do things like well, even if they're different, you gain confidence.
Well, the guy in Korea, from me analyzing you and the guy from Korea, because I know both you guys, well. I've seen many of your fights. Like, that guy, he was more of a threat standing up, and you stood with him, and you didn't really take that many clean, like, hard shots, because that dude usually lands a lot of hard shots on his opponents. So do you think that actually gave you more confidence too, standing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So he was 3-0, and he had some, I think all his wins might have been by knockout. One was a slam, but the other ones were with his hands. And I seen them, and definitely when you see videos of somebody and their only thing they're doing is knocking people out with their hands, of course you're going to worry about that. And then so I remember standing up with him a little bit and not feeling threatened. It's a fight. You're always going to be threatened with something, but yeah, coming out of that one definitely felt good. Yeah, for sure. But then even this guy, like, so that guy had like a lot of knockouts, and I think he had like better technical striking. But even my last opponent, the one in China, you watch the fight. I mean, it's online. I put up on my Facebook page. He wasn't technical with his striking, but he was throwing everything into him because he wasn't technical. I think he knew that I was more technical straight off the bat. So instead of trying to out-technique me, he just put his head down, and he was swinging big looping overhands. So that's not technical, but it's dangerous, So
yeah.
Definitely I think my opponent in Korea had better technique and was a better technical stand-up fighter. But this other guy he hit harder. I got hit by him. I took like 2 shots. I got like one to the eye and one to the jaw from these big overhand punches, and it hit me way harder. I remember back in Korea, I got hit by him, and I remember telling George, like in between rounds, I was like, "Yo, this guy hits like a bitch." I was like, right away, I was like, right away when I felt him, I gained more confidence because I was like, he doesn't hit hard. He's hitting me with everything he got. The guy in China, he hit me hard, and I was like, straight away, I was like, ooh, shit, I better keep my hands up, you know? So it was good, you know, either way.
All right, now I want to talk about John Jones. That fool popped hot for T-ball, and that dog looks like he's on T-ball. But
nah, he's not.
He's not. But
nah, he's on some other shit.
Yeah, he's on it, dog.
What do you guys think about John Jones, man? Like, I know in Thailand or in Phuket, it's like all about fitness. It's about fighting. It's about CrossFit. People are losing weight, going down there to lose weight. You know, people are all about looking good, right? And when you are all about looking good and performing, there's always performance-enhancing shit going around. So, have you heard of this T-ball before?
I haven't. No.
You guys both?
No, I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, steroids and like sports is like a whole conversation, but I know a little bit about things from what I've heard, but I don't know a lot about steroids. So, you know, I'm not even the person to ask what it does.
Obviously, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I'm just not in that. I think if you're in that circle, you're in that circle. If you're not, I mean, what do you know, like?
Yeah, I haven't heard of that either, but I don't know, man. For me, I think that like I've read different articles, you know, like obviously everyone's going to jump to the gun and like jump to conclusions, but like I've also like seen articles and how like reputable they are. I don't know, but like, you know, about like people have said like, you know, something's off because he tested right before that and he was fine. And then all of a sudden he's not fine. So I don't know, but who knows, bro? Like, I guess maybe with time we'll get the facts and stuff as more stuff like comes out about it. But it is pretty crazy because like I was actually like, I wanted Cormier to win, but I thought John Jones would win as he did. But it was like, you know, finally, okay, maybe the guy's finally, after all the times he's messed up, got his shit together and he's going to do his thing. And then that came out and I was just like, I thought it was a joke when I read it. When I woke up that morning, I was like, you got to be kidding me. But I don't know. I guess with time, like I'm not going to jump to conclusion and like badmouth them because, you know, I'm sure once they run all the tests or do whatever they got to do and investigate it, they'll have more, you know, shed more light on it. But I wouldn't be surprised if it is what it is, like everyone's saying.
Well, with the T-ball, right? It's an old steroid, from what I read. Like it goes back to like 1960s, 1970s, and maybe in the 50s too, where like I think it was the German like Olympic team. It comes from Germany. It's like a cheap steroid, and they were using it because. Not because I don't necessarily it's the best performance-enhancing drug, but it was local, and they had easy access to it, so they were using that shit. But then after a while, it kind of like disappeared because it wasn't, you know, there was so much other better shit out there that people weren't taking it. So a lot of people, the reason why a lot of people are saying that it doesn't make sense that he's taking this is because nobody's really taking this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Why would you take something that is old? It's like taking like the first supplements that came out, and now you know that those supplements are not that good. So, and he failed the piss test, but he passed the blood test.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah, that's very strange because whatever you piss, it should be in your blood, right?
Yeah.
No, but see, so look, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I don't know how this stuff works. I know a little bit about that stuff, but just because we've had to do it ourselves, but I don't think that they test for the same thing. I think people are saying that, and that's like an easy like conspiracy argument. But I think blood tests for a certain thing and piss tests for the same thing. That's why they even take 2. They wouldn't just take 1. So I'm honest, and I honestly have no idea. I could be completely wrong, but either way, like I think people are just tired. Like people are, John Jones is the best ever. Everyone knows that. He's the baddest dude ever. Took him or not, whatever.
But is he? But is he the best ever? If he's on steroids the whole time?
you want to go through the list of legends that we call legends that were on steroids. So legal or not is what it is. They were the best fighter, you know, like he just was. So we never saw him without it. So we can't like say that, you know. How many? Come on. Like all these guys from that era. That's just you took steroids. That's what you did, you know. Vitor, Dan Henderson, or whoever. All these guys in Pride, like people just, you know. So he was the best. Man.
But don't you think like there was guys that did not take any steroids though, like at all?
Did Dan Henderson take steroids? Did I make that up? I just mean like, you know,
that's TRT, yeah. But that's steroids.
TRT, whatever. Yeah, something that's illegal now. Yeah. So, sorry, what was the question?
The question was like, was there anybody that was not taking steroids?
Yeah,
that should be the big question, right?
For sure, but they don't get, you know, for sure. I mean,
you only hear about the ones that, you know, did do it.
Yeah. So, but at that time, it was kind of like, I don't know, like kind of like when the Russians first like started using steroids, like it wasn't a thing. They were just like, yeah, we're going to make ourselves better physically with chemicals. Like, why not? You know, like, I think that's how fighting was. Like the Pride days, like, I think they were just like, I'm going to be the best fighter. Who gives a shit if I'm using steroids or not? I don't think it was as big of a deal as now people call you a cheater, you know?
Yeah.
Do you see steroid use in Asia? Like from your, what you have seen?
I have no idea. I don't involve myself in any of that. So I'm not invited to those meetings, you know? So that's it.
Yeah, not like I've never seen it, you know, in our gym. Obviously, I know of like places in Phuket that are supposedly like sell stuff. But that's more, I think, for like people that are like here, like, you know, bodybuilding and stuff like that. Like I've never had a run-in or a problem with any fighter on steroids here.
You know, but there's a lot of people. So are there? Maybe, probably. Who cares? You know, like only thing we look out for are guys. You know, so. But yeah, like I said, I don't think me or George are invited to those team meetings if that's happening. But
team steroids.
Obviously by the looks of our physiques.
For real,
it's the illest. Nowadays, we got the illest physique.
For real, like nowadays, not all the steroids are for looks though. You know what I mean? Like they're performance enhancing drugs. It doesn't just stronger. Yeah, it makes you, you know, because number one thing is cardio. You know that cardio is number one. So if you could take a steroids for your cardio to expand your cardio, to make your cardio better than the next person, and it's not gonna make you look any better than someone else, right? It's hard to say that the smell test doesn't work every single time. You know what I mean?
For sure. Which is why me and him are saying, if that has happened, it wasn't something anything that we were involved with or knew about. Are people going to take shit? For sure. Are they going to even taking just something little in between? You know, we're not with them every night. You know, so. But I'm sure it happens. Why? Yeah, of course, man. There's hundreds of fighters that pass through here all the time. And
like, I'm not a fighter, but I want to try steroids one time just to see like if I could get a better body, right?
Fucking
why not? I'm scared, but I'm scared though at the same time because I don't know what's the health consequences of me taking those steroids eventually because I don't want to face those consequences. You know what I mean? That's why
but there's science to this shit now. Like there's ways that you meet with a doctor and they put you on a plan to do this and do that. Like you're still a free person. Like you can do whatever you want. You can have your doctor prescribe you with things that are legal. It's like just for sports, it makes it illegal. But like people, Phuket and Thailand is so cheap. So people come here to like people come here for cosmetic surgery and this type of retreat, not just fighting, but like there's yoga retreats and all that stuff. And here in Phuket, like we have like a world-class, like world-renowned, like triathlete facility where they have the world's best doctors. We're talking bicycle riding. I mean, who's the biggest drug scandals? You know, Lance Armstrong, whatever. But then where you could go there, meet with their doctors, and legally put you on a performance enhancing system. It's not going to fuck up your body. They're actually doctors. What's going to fuck up your body is having George shoot me in the butt with something. You know, like we don't know what we're doing. You know, like you could do it. You should be.
Does anything not have consequences though? Like in Korea, you could go to the doctor and get on a plan for TRT. It's like you could do it. No, it's legal here, right? But then if you read about TRT, there are consequences for TRT too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a free ride. Nothing is a free ride, don't you think? Even fighting,
of course,
you grapple every day, you strike every day. It's not a free ride, right? So that's the point I'm trying to make is,
for sure,
I don't want to like risk that. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to live longer than a normal person. For
sure, but there's probably an intelligent way to go about it. I think everything, going in the sun is going to limit your life. There's probably like an intelligent way to go about it. So I have no idea, but hey, you should do it. We should fucking 6 months.
We should do it. Yeah, do a test.
Boom. You'll come to Tiger. You'll test with Woody. You'll go home. You'll get your shit together, and you'll come back, and we'll see where you're at. We'll get you jacked. I like that.
That sounds like a plan. You'll see me like a bodybuilder. Like I'll be looking like Brock Lesnar and shit.
Straps up to here. All right. And
I'll be dead in a year.
Nah. You should do it. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, there's hundreds of fighters. I'm sure people are doing it. People are not, but it's who you like. Just like anything, it's who you surround yourself with. And if I'm not seeing it, we're surrounding ourselves with people who.
But this day and age, right? Like, I think with USADA, and I think with the level of athletes that we have, around the world, not just in the UFC. I'm talking about around the world, right? And if I guess in the other promotions, if they allow you to take steroids, then it's all good. Whatever, do what you got to do. Like whatever organization is, whatever. But in the UFC, they're testing you. So like, if you're gonna fight there, and you're gonna cheat, and you're gonna go around and do all these interviews and be like, oh, like I'm not gonna cheat, and I'm, it was my dick pills, and then go on Good Morning America. He was on Good Morning America after he won the title, talking about how such a good guy he is and shit, and like how a great champion he is, and now he gets popped for this. Like, you look like the biggest piece of shit, man. Like, for real. Like, you risk Cormier. He beat the shit out of Cormier, man. Like, beat the shit out of him. Dude, Cormier was fucked up. Seriously. Like, he got brain damage from that shit.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's and like the landscape of like MMA the way it is now, you just don't do it. You can't do it. Like, how can like even like younger fighters, like, and they're watching what is not even before this one, they're watching the shit that's happened with other guys and steroids. They're like, how could you even want to like just that first time be like, all right, I'm gonna start taking steroids? Like, it's not gonna end well. So yeah, he played with fire over and over again. So even if this one's not true, you're too close to it where people were like, fuck it.
Yeah, I think he disappointed like the whole MMA world, man. Seriously, like me, absolutely. I hope it's not true. I hope he kind of gets out of it somehow. And like there's all, like George said, there's all these stories from this publication to this publication and this expert.
You don't know which one's which and which one's true or credible. And
the only way
all you gotta do is move on. That's it. Yeah. Honestly, move on.
And just wait until USADA makes a decision, and that's it. Once they make the decision, then we gotta live with that shit. He gotta live with it. And if he can't get out of it, dude, it's over for him.
Oh, and he can't get out of it. If he can get out of it, people are like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're doubting him anyways. He will. People will hate him, no doubt.
Yo, I just saw this great documentary called Icarus. You heard about this?
Yeah, of course. I seen that.
Yeah, shit. I was thinking about watching it.
That's the dopest shit in the world, right?
Oh my god,
literally.
It's like I've seen some. It was, what, similar to? Did you ever see the one with Lance Armstrong?
Yeah.
Did you ever see it?
Yeah.
And they were making a documentary, and concurrently while that happened, some crazy shit happens. George, have you ever seen it?
What, Icarus?
The Lance Armstrong one? No.
No, I saw the Lance Armstrong one, yeah.
Yeah, so like that. This one is like that. They're doing this really interesting documentary already, and then some crazy shit happens, and it's all – and then – so they're at the heart of it. Literally, like – John, you saw it. Yeah. The heart of it. They're at the heart of it, and like this crazy shit happens, and it's all about the steroid use from the Russian team. Remember, they were going to be banned from the last Olympics, remember?
Yeah.
They're at the center of it just by chance. Yeah, it's a good one. It's super interesting how that stuff works.
It was crazy how the KGB was involved at the Olympics. The building right next to the testing center, they were just chilling out there. And then when it's time,
of course it was.
I don't give too many details away. I'm gonna watch this today.
Oh, okay.
No, you know what happened? This isn't. It's not a spoiler. It's a true story. You probably anyways, but
you can read about
it. Good. You should watch it. Watch it.
At the end of the day, I can give it to you. Like, I'm not gonna give nothing away, but at the end of the day, the Olympics are a joke, dude. That's all it is. Yeah. The Olympics is a joke, man. Like, anybody that's going to take the Olympics seriously, of course the athletes are going to take it seriously, and it's great for your career. But Man,
is it great for your career? Yo, the Olympics doesn't pay their athletes. Are you joking me? Like,
I'm talking about the longer extent of your career, I guess.
For sure. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, an Olympic medal is a great achievement, but some of those people put their whole life into it and don't have any other skill, and they're triathletes. What the fuck are they doing after that? They're teaching. They're no disrespect, but like same like wrestling. Like, what's the end goal for wrestling? You're gonna make the Olympics, or are you gonna be a high school or small college coach? Like,
right.
Well, now fighting has opened that up for wrestlers, but yeah, the Olympics, like.
Well, there's a big thing now. I just saw like they're talking about like the scandals with like the scoring system and like paying refs off and stuff in the wrestling aspect of it.
Yeah, and boxing's notoriously been fucked up. Like,
what about that thing about Yoel Romero? Like, he lost on purpose and shit during the Olympics or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's always he lost to Satiev. He had beat him before in the Olympics, and he's a Chechen from that obviously wrestles for Russia, but like. Who knows if it's true, but there's in the wrestling world, there's kind of like common knowledge, like that people have not common knowledge, but people have said like the Cubans would lose because, they come from such a poor country and that they could be bought, but who really knows?
When it comes to like national pride and the government getting involved, Russian government paying for your steroids, what are you going to, you're not even going to worry about anything. You're going to be like, they're backing you. Like, when it comes into like shit like that, people will cheat. People will do anything.
Yeah, Putin is. Did you hear? Putin is an OG right there, man. He's an OG of sports.
This is this is super off topic or whatever, but the Sea Games, George. Remember we were in KL.
There's a big thing now.
Yeah, all the fucking judges and referees were all crooked, and they wanted to give Malaysia like twice as many medals, and the Thai team got fucked.
Yeah, they were like scheduling like different stadiums, and then they changed the schedule.
When it comes to national, come on, bro. Like, when it comes to that shit, like people will, man, take every edge,
For real. So
there was a thing with volleyball last year in Japan and Thailand.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a thing about volleyball this year too?
Yeah, there was
probably.
This year.
Or maybe it was this year. Yeah.
Yeah, they were like talking about how they told the Thai team a different time.
Yeah.
And a different location, and then they changed the location.
I just read an article on it. There's all like the little crooked things that they did and shit. Oh, you know what they did? I think it wasn't swimming, or maybe it was something. They gave to up their medal count, 2 Malaysians. It was something on time where 1 minute, 12 seconds, .32, like something really specific. They put them both tied for first place, so they got 2 gold medals.
Hey, what about the speed walking one? Where
she lifted up her foot? Yeah, I saw that, bro. I was like, all right, fuck off. Like, this is speed walking. That shouldn't be a thing anyway. Go walk to the store and fucking make me.
Hey, how about all those games that are just fucking ridiculous, man? Like speed walking and man, I'm serious. Like, they're putting too many like games. Like, for real, it's like games. It's not even really like events.
Of course. Yeah. Hey, so speaking of what your gold medal will do for you, what's your Sea Games speed walking medal gonna do for you?
She was crying too.
Hey, I don't, whatever. Fuck, that's not a sport. It's walking. Come on, bro. I'm not even feeling bad about that.
Like, you can't have both feet lift your knees off the ground.
Yeah. Listen, running is barely a sport, So that's a way to train for other sports. So, speed walking, I can't cut it.
All right, let's move on to like the flyweight division, since Alex is one of the up and coming flyweights in the Southeast Asia, all the whole area, this side of the world. Now, with you got a couple guys that have trained with you at Tiger. You had Kai Carl France. You have right now Kairat Akhmetov. Now let's talk about Kai Carl France first. Like, there's a big push for him to, be signed to the UFC. He's got big power, very good, all around fighter.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely.
Is it because he's fighting like at bantamweight a lot, or what's going on with him? Do you think?
Man, I have no idea because Kai. So everyone listening to this probably knows who Kai is. Kai Kara France from New Zealand. He was on the Ultimate Fighter, the season where the winner gets to fight Demetrius. He had the only knockout of the season, and didn't get put on the finale show. Everyone was like, because we all knew, like, we all got messages and shit, like they taped it, So we're all thinking, we're like, man, he's gonna be on the finale, like absolutely, like they always do that. They give guys on the show that did well, whatever, and yeah, he'd get put on the finale, and like, it was kind of weird. And then he went over, fought in Ryzen in Japan, and Kai's one of the best fighters in the world. Like, people always want to rag on like flyweights for not having knockout power. That's like a big thing, which is pretty funny.
He's got knockout power.
No, but it's just really funny because like, yeah, a flyweight's not going to knock out a welterweight, but he's fighting another flyweight. I see flyweights get knocked out all the time. So if you don't think like that's stupid. When people say that, it makes me laugh because they're fighting each other. Because if you pay attention, guys like Kai are knocking people out, like making me look bad. I remember one time I got a knockout in like 16 seconds. And like a week later, he got one in like 9 seconds. I was like all feeling like I was feeling so good about myself. I was like patting myself on the back. And then he got one in like 9 seconds. I was like, oh shit, that was dope.
He should be in the UFC, bro. He's a beast.
And then he did it again. Yeah, he's a beast, man. So he's still pushing for it, you know.
Do you think that because he's in New Zealand? Because you know even the Japanese dude that was on the show that was like taking everybody down on the tough, season.
Yeah.
He didn't even get signed either, and he went way further than Kai did. That's kind of weird, don't you think?
One thing you learned about UFC is it's weird. They'll pick some people that you're a little bit you question a little bit, and then they won't pick people who are just at the top of their game. But you know, cream rises to the top when people know who people are now. You know, social media. He's got a good social media, so
yeah,
it's a matter of time he'll get in.
Because they're having the Sydney card. Right? Is Mark Hunt fighting on the Sydney card or the Melbourne card? I don't know which city that they're going to.
Sydney.
Is it Sydney? Yeah, Kai, he should be on that card, man. I don't understand how they would not sign him, but then they would sign the other cat from Australia.
Who knows? Yeah, that's what I said, man. It's who knows? There's no rhyme or reason. It's the guys, the matchmakers, all these guys. You get a million emails a day and. They're doing the best they can. They got some talent, It's just he'll keep grinding. That's just what it is. Every time you talk to a fighter, like it's just that grind, So
is he different? Because when you watch the show, like he's very like quiet. He's very like composed. He doesn't really get too excited about anything. He's kind of like Stonewall. He's kind of like a Stonewall type dude, right? On the show, is he really like that in person when you interact with him?
Yeah, he's just a more mild-mannered guy, When you get big characters and personalities, sometimes especially on the TV show, you're not gonna, you're just gonna think whatever. But yeah, guy's a dude, He's just more mild-mannered. But yeah.
I think that he is how he is. Like when he's around all the guys, his personality comes out. We all give him shit, and he tries to give his shit back. But
he got shit banter, but he's a dude,
Yeah, he's our boy. He definitely should be in the UFC. The kid's got power. He's a good fighter. He's very skilled. Obviously his stand up is very good. But Kai's good everywhere, man. I think in a short amount of time, hopefully we'll see him in the UFC because he definitely deserves it.
All right, let's move on to Kairat Akhmetov, man. He's coming off his title loss to Adriano Moraes. Am I saying that right? I don't know. From in one championship. Now, let's talk about his last performance right there, the one when he lost the title. Like, Alex, I want to get your viewpoint on him because you train with him. Do you train? You train with him, right?
Yeah, I train with Kairat.
Yeah. So, what did you think? The reason, he didn't really get his ass whooped in that fight. It was just he just kind of got outpointed, basically.
Yeah.
In my view. So what do you think about his fight that he had?
Specifically about the fight? I mean, it's exactly it. Nobody's going to – I train with the guy. I know the guy. I've seen him fight. No one's going to kick his ass. He's a tough fight for anybody. And he fought him before. Look, he had 5 rounds with this guy before 2 years ago. And in that time, for whatever reason, he wasn't fighting. And they gave Adriano 3 or 4 fights. He was active. What did we talk about before about being active?
Mm-hmm.
And so that other guy had 5 rounds with him. He had 25 minutes in the cage with him. And they had a lot of tape to watch. And I just think Adriano was half a step ahead every time. And, me and Kairat, we talked about it too. He knows. Kairat's got everything there to be the champion. He was the champion. But exactly just like you said, he was half a step ahead. And, man, Kairat fought a great fight. But, Adriano's a champion as well, So you got to give it to both of them. And, he's fighting again next week. He's going to work his way back. And, man, he's just happy to keep fighting. That's the game.
How is Kairat, George? How is this spirits? Is he angry? or is he like just like whatever? Is he chill?
I don't think Kairat gets angry all that much, and if he is angry, like he doesn't show that he's angry, you know. I think he's just happy to get back in there because he did have such a long layoff. I think it definitely played a role. Like Alex said, the other guy fought, you know, how many times. I think that definitely played into him, you know, his performance. But again, like, you know, he fought well. The other guy was just half a step ahead of him every time. But I think it's lit a fire under Kairat, and I think that the quick turnaround is going to be great for him. I think you know, he gets this win next week, and then he's right back in the mix of things. So he's he's fired up, man. He's ready to go. He's ready to get that win back. It was his first loss, and I think it left a sour taste in his mouth. And now we're going to see him on the comeback.
Yo,
How did he take his first loss though? Like when you saw him again after that fight, like how was he? Was he just like himself, or?
I mean, I think it definitely affected him. It was his first loss after how many wins? But I think I always say, man, like it sucks to lose. I hate losing. I mean, anyone that's a competitor hates to lose. But you always learn, like you learn a lot about yourself every time you fight. But after a loss, you're always going to take, in my opinion, more from a loss than you will from a win. And Kairat knows what he did wrong and what he has to fix, and you know, and he's addressed those issues, and I think he'll be back, man. He was, you know, after the fight, of course, he was upset and you know, kind of down in the dumps because he lost, and it wasn't just a loss; he just lost a fight. You know, he lost his title. But I think you know we're going to see a guy that's hungry to get his belt back, and he's been working hard. He's been in the gym fixing things and improving, and I think we'll see what he's got next week.
For sure.
You know, like when Kairat fought, like everything George says, like of course, man, you're gonna you lose a fight, you're gonna be sad, but yeah, he's back up on that and he's fighting right away. You know, like man, when he fought, like we had so many people fight before, after him. Like there was such good like vibes at the gym. Everybody was like super supportive and helping each other. So when he came back, he was just doing the same for the other guys. You know what I mean? He one of the teammates, man. Like everyone's like, of course you feel for him. He loses, but he's like, don't worry. You good luck with your fight. You know, like he's a fucking teammate, man. Like through and through.
He is, bro. He's a great, like Kairat is a great person, man. He's a great husband, father, and he's an awesome teammate. Like
is he a good husband too?
I guess, but he's just a good guy, man. Like what you see is what you see with Kairat. There's no like hiding anything, and he's
a beast, man. What a
like
nice
I told
guy,
you before, whether he's going with the best guy in the gym, you know, to help himself prepare for a fight or to help the other guy, or whether it's Rika that he is like bigger than and obviously more skilled than, and he'll help her. It doesn't matter who it is. He's a team player all the way around.
Yeah, he's cool, man. I like him.
For sure. Like Kairat, he'll be fighting next week in Indonesia. He's going to have a lot of people probably supporting him because he represents the Muslim community out there, or just the Muslim community overall. So it's kind of a big thing for him, I think, as his comeback fight to be fighting in front of those people. You know what I mean? So it's all good. Now let's move on to the UFC flyweight division. Because, you know, like, all the eyes are on Demetrius Johnson. Now, fucking Ray Borg, that fucking dude. Let me tell you why Ray Borg should have never got this fight. Listen to what I'm going to list some statistics for you.
Are you hating right now?
No, I'm not hating. I'm going to list some statistics. I'm hating on Sean Shelby and Dana White for making this fight. Listen to the statistics. August 2015, Ray Borg misses weight. February 2015, he misses weight. February 2016, he makes weight but loses. July 2016, he pulls out 10 days before the fight with Soriano. September 2016, he pulls out 3 days before the fight with McCall. December 2016, he wins but misses weight. March 2017, he wins, he makes weight. September 2017, which was UFC 215, he withdraws 2 days before the championship fight.
I retract my statement, John. I feel what you. I'm picking up what you're laying down now.
Yeah, now we're hating. What? Yo, hold on. Out of all those, that's 7. He had one fight where he made weight and won.
Yes.
Is that 1?
Yes, 1.
Who? Wow. Yeah, you know what? Fuck this guy, yo.
Dude, like
Idiot.
all
Come
that
on,
shit,
man.
and also Demetrius Johnson, him saying like TJ, he needs to make the weight before I fight him, and then he takes a fight against Ray Borg, who only made weight once and won one time while he made weight. How you justify that bullshit?
Yo, you just hit me with some
Johnson, all that
John,
shit.
You just hit me with some hard facts, bro. I didn't know all that. Oh man,
that's the real deal, man.
Because I was like, yo, he's like, yeah, I don't want to fight TJ. It makes sense. He's never proven he can make the weight. But then you took a fight with a guy who's proven to miss the weight and not show up.
Yeah, shout out to
I never
Izzy.
thought about that.
Izzy's the dude that broke those facts down into like one location. So I'm giving you the dude that like put the information together about Ray Borg. His dude named Izzy. He's the guy that runs MMA Today. But shout out to him. Shit. He broke it down. But I'm saying when you look at it like that, Ray Borg should have never got the fight. It should have been Sergio Pettis. It should have been somebody else.
Yeah.
Now let's break down the rankings of the flyweight division. Number 1, Joseph Benavidez. Demetrius Johnson beat him twice. Henry Cejudo vaporized his ass. Ray Borg is ranked 3rd. What kind of bullshit is that there?
It's hard to tell Benavidez. He beat him twice, even though he's the best. Benavidez is the best.
It is.
He's the second best flyweight. I mean, I don't know if you recently listened to what's happening with Ian McCall, who's also one of the best fighters, but can't fight because of all these injuries and all these problems. I heard him talking to Ariel Helwani.
Like head injuries or something too.
Like head injuries, yeah. But these guys again have also fought him before. Like there is I didn't know that shit about Ray Borg. Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people thought Ray Borg was some kind of – it was weird, like, how they would make this matchup for him. It's almost like they – and also, listen to this bullshit. Like, Dana White comes out, says, like, hey, what's her name? Amanda Nunes. She's never going to be a main event at a UFC. But she was the main event at the UFC, man. Like, they fucking canceled this.
Yeah, but
it kind of bitched him back in the ass because he put these two people.
He put 2 people, the co-main event and the main event, who are notorious for missing fights, and put them together.
Yeah. And now he just got, like Dana White just got his ass bitten. Because really, it seemed like he don't give a shit about the UFC anymore, to be honest with you. After that Conor shit, like with Mayweather, I think his head is like gone. Like he's going to be at Zuffa Boxing at the CEO position over there eventually in the next year or so.
Dana's doing what he wants.
Exactly. Like, he's like, fuck this. You guys are sinking the ship. Just let them sink.
I think he's still – man, he cares about MMA. I think that's his passion. But, hey,
he cares.
He's a businessman.
But,
hey, you know who's on the come up? Your boy, though. Ben Nguyen. He's ranked 8.
Nguyen. Are you kidding me, bro?
Ben in there.
Yo, throw Ben in there, yo. You see – are you joking me, man? You
could throw Ben in there
right now and sell that better than any of those other guys in the top 5. What's he, number 8?
He's number 8. Because
he comes to scrap.
He choked out Tim Elliott, the guy who went 5 rounds. The guy who went 5 rounds and gave Demetrius his hardest fight. He choked out in 45 seconds. If you're telling me you can't sell that more than Ray Borg, but it's a matter of time for him. Yo, Ben's a G, man. I talk to him too, like regularly. Like, man, he's young as shit too, and he's doing well. He's in no rush to do anything. You know, that idiot Ray Borg. You know, I didn't know all that shit about him, so now I'm calling him an idiot because that's fucking stupid. But he was saying, yeah, I'm young, I got time. But all right, well, you gotta fix something because you keep fucking up your time. You know, like, but Ben wins.
And he's from Jackson's too. Like, those guys are professionals out there, man. Like, you're around like.
Yo, I really didn't know that he missed and had that many fuck ups. Straight up, for our team, we have a team too, man. Like, if we have one of our guys, everyone's accountable for themselves. If we have one of those guys that's fucking up like that, and believe me, we've had guys who have fucked up, never that bad. You give them ultimatums. You say, yo, we can coach you, we can do all this shit, but if you can't make the weight, that's on you. That's your only. I'm not at your house every night when you're eating. You know, like. And exactly right. Of course, you can't hit on Jackson Wink. Those guys that's top, man. That's the elite, you know. Like, but you got to give a guy an ultimatum. Hey, man, you can't be on our team if this is going to happen with you. That's it. It's wasting time.
You know, a fight
makes the gym look bad.
Yeah,
right, George. I mean, don't you agree, George?
No, I mean, we've had that case before where things have happened. It's like, look, man, like, yes, it's different. Like, they have fighters come from everywhere, obviously, because they've got a lot of big name fighters. Same thing with us. There's no one at our gym that is from, like, except for Muay Thais that we coach, Alex and I. But everyone else, we're all from different places. So people are coming here to train, but it's like, hey, if you can't do what's expected of you, then we need to sit down and have a conversation, because not only are you making yourself look like an idiot, but you're making the gym look like idiots as well.
Like weight cutting or not, it's part of the sport, and your job is to make weight. If you agree to fight a certain weight,
yeah. Hey, as my dad's Papa Hickman always says, it's the first part of the battle. It's the first part.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it's the first of the month. I thought that's what you were gonna say. I didn't think.
Man, I wish it was the first. 12 days ago. I wish it was the first. Fuck, it's the 9th. We got a long way to go to the first.
We need that bot to roll in.
Hey, you know who? If they were gonna risk this main event, I thought they should have risked it with a guy that, of course, he's a flyweight. Actually, he's a bantamweight now, but he was a flyweight before, and to me, he has the best chance of beating Demetrius Johnson. Is John Lineker. If they were gonna take a chance on a guy that misses weight, they should just took a chance on him. You know what I mean? Because if he made the weight,
Demetrius, and fair enough to him, he knows what he's doing. He's like, look, let me just get this record right now, then I'll do super fights. He's like, look, I'm this close.
Yeah, I can go with that for Demetrius.
No, but like even like him, like he's like, yo, he'll go. Why not fight Dominic at 130? Why don't they do a catchweight? Like the only guy to ever beat. Like, come on, he'll fight TJ. He'll do these fights, but for him,
let the guy get his record because he deserves it.
Absolutely, bro. Like, man, people are so funny. They're gonna be like, he doesn't want. Yeah, of course. Are you kidding me? He'll write his name in cement, dog. Like,
right. Let him get his history, and then let him make his money and do a super fight.
Then he'll do the shit.
Because that guy like never says anything bad. He's like, I like him a lot, bro. Because
did you listen?
I do too.
Yeah. So,
anyways, signing that paper against Ray Borg, he knew Demetrius Johnson is a smart dude. He knew Ray Borg missed weight. He missed weight all those times too, man. It's not like he didn't know that shit.
Yeah, but he knew that. He also knew
like
that.
A title fight.
He also knew that he could whip his ass too, of course.
He also knew that TJ might miss the weight, but is a lot more of a threat.
Fuck. Yeah, let him submit. Let him get his history and then do his thing.
Yeah,
that's my take on it. Because I like the
history. I always thought that if he makes history, he was gonna retire.
Yeah,
that's what I always thought, because he has other things he can do. He can always train. You know what I mean? And he has that record. He goes out on top. He makes history. It's almost like a situation.
Yeah, but a guy like him, where like, look, he's not making what a best in the world, the best ever should be making, right? He's not but he's at a good pay scale. He's making a few $100,000 each fight. He obviously, people thought he should make more and more. So he's like, look, every time I fight, I'm gonna get paid a chunk of change. I don't have enough yet to really set myself up completely. He probably will take these fights. He's like, look, I'll fight. I don't know how much he makes, $500,000, whatever. Maybe $500,000. Maybe it's not $10 million he should be making, but he'd probably be like, look, I need that $500,000. Let me fight one more. I'll need that 500. Like.
For sure. Well, it was good having you on, Alex. George, of course, the homie. You're the coach.
Awesome.
Alex, you know, I always know that you're gonna be doing good. So hopefully, when you gonna fight?
I'm supposed to fight in 2 weeks at this show, but that fell through. So looking to fight early October, November, December. I want to have 2 more fights at the end of the year. So I'll be on to talk about it later.
For sure, man. Thanks for your time, George. It's all love. Alex is all love. Peace out.
Later.